Huh. Okay. Good evening and salutations, my GH friends. Part of me wants to sit there and start off this review by saying that Willow has completely lost it. But in all reality, she lost it the minute that she started messing with Sasha's baby to get her to gaslight her and to essentially get her out of town. But like in this episode, we can just sit there and title this out of pocket. There are a lot of people out of pocket, but we gotta start with. I was about to call her now. I was literally about to call her now. So she interrogates Nina, and she's like, "Was you sleep? Was you having an affair with my fiance?" I was like, "Affair, girl? Y'all weren't even together." But like, even on some level, I understand the anger. I get the anger, like, listen, while I was falling for this person, you was sitting there going behind my back doing this stuff and not telling me. Okay, that's fine for any normal person, but Willow done, like, so, Nina, again, in her convoluted, idiotic plan, she was like, oh, I was trying to do this to help you, to save your marriage by luring the big bad wolf away from you. Okay. But it just gets worse. Because now she's like, your silence is the reason why I fell for this man and lost my kids. I was like, no, 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 no. Listen, I get that a lot of people have problems with Nina. Hell, I called them Ninaisms at one point. But we're not going to do that. No, you lost those kids because you became a very shitty ass mom. You got nobody to blame except for yourself. This chick done lost her mind. And that's why I was about to sit there and call her now, because now was coming across as the queen of unaccountability. And Willow's doing that too. Willow's like, this is your fault. I lost my kids. What did she say? Hold on. Okay, and I'm probably paraphrasing a little bit. Willow said that Nina watched as she threw away her marriage and her kids for a man who was lying to her. I was like, no, 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 no. We're not going to blame this on her. You threw away your marriage. You threw away your marriage. You lost your kids because you're an idiot and kind of a shitty wife. A shitty wife who he was willing to forgive you for a kiss. I don't even know if I was willing to sit there and do that, but Michael was. But, at this point, she pretty much just, and then she just starts getting like really nasty. She was like, oh, I think that Nell was better off, not being raised by you or something like that. Like, oh, it's a good thing that she died or something like that. I was like, whoa, 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 girl. Just like, she just left me speechless at that point. Then she tells her to kick rocks. And, Nina comes up to Lizu and practically is like, oh, the wedding's off and everything like that. And you see this chick walking down the goddamn aisles. You know? And as she's, realizing, she's like, I burnt every bridge that I have. I'm like, yes, you did. Like, I'm sorry. Is anybody at this point supposed to sit there and feel bad for you for your shitty ass choices? It was wild. We're going to go with our next person who is just completely out of pocket. First of all, why the hell are you following Carly being like, well, we're not done with our fight? No, we are done with, Carly was like, listen, I left before one of us wound up saying something that we couldn't take back. And then this idiot continues to go on. He's like, oh, well, I apologize for the Morgan part. But then it's like part two, the same goddamn conversation that we had yesterday. And it doesn't go anywhere. He just basically is like, you're making shitty choices, you're defending this man, blood money, he's a bad person, da 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 da. And of course, Carter's like, you're throwing away your loyalty towards the family that you know for years for a guy that you met for like what, all of 5 minutes? Seriously? And the sad part is, he's like, you don't even really know this guy. Just like yesterday, you don't know how far deep he is and with Sitwell. And for a while, yeah, I defended him too until towards the end of the episode, after Marco gets a visit from Sonny, Smith is saying you need to get out of town, and I only did this because, your father and da 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 da. Now, Marco did sit there and say that he did believe that Sonny had nothing to do with Natalia's death. But then towards the end, after he talks to Lucas, he pretty much tells Sitwell, he's like, yeah, listen, I'm all in. I'm all into the family business. So Lucas is gonna feel like an idiot, and you know what? I'm here for it. I am, and it's kind of weird too because like I was just kind of defending the guy yesterday, and now I'm just like, oops. Well, show me. So Molly and Cody are hanging out, and there's a point where Molly Smith is talking about the dangers of too much sun and sunscreen and everything like that. And so she starts rubbing some sunscreen on Cody's back. Christina sees this and gets Michael to distract Cody so this way she could sit there and talk to Molly and essentially drive a wedge between Cody and Molly by Smith saying he's only trying to be with you because, he wants to sit there and try to hit up a rich person or whatever, and he's just using you to try to get your money and stuff like that. And I'm like, you're a shitty sister in a sense, right? Like, she had a horrible breakup with TJ. She seems like she's ready to sit there and put herself out there. But of course, this will get in the way of her revenge on Ava, and she can't let that happen. So that's exactly essentially what she does. So when Cody comes back, Molly Smith there looking at him a little bit differently, like, oh, you're trying to use me or whatever. You're trying to seduce me to get my money or whatever. I'm like, wow, Christina. I was like, wow, you're a shitty sister. Now, during this whole wedding thing that goes on, Ava sees Rick with Liz, and he feels like he's fondling all over her. Even though he was like, oh, in a sense, he kind of was. He was like, oh, well, maybe you could sit there and save me a dance. Well, hey, listen, it'll be like 4 feet apart. It's just friends or whatever. I'm like, bro, why do you keep sitting there trying to like? I feel bad for Liz in a sense because this woman has told you multiple times that she don't want nothing more than friendship with you, and you keep sitting there trying to test and push and weasel your way into this woman's life, right? Meanwhile, in a sense, you're kind of playing Ava. You know damn well that you want more than friendship and Liz. But in a sense, it's like, oh, nothing's going on between her, so we can sit there and keep doing. It's like he wants his cake and eat it too, in a sense. What else wound up happening? Oh, Liesel kind of told Drew off in a sense, like, you know, um, she was grateful for Drew getting her to Willow to save her life, but at the same time, you screwing over your own nephew, essentially, stealing his wife, was a pretty shitty thing to do. Which, I mean, I can't sit there and disagree. And Sonny does go to Carly, like, yo, listen, you need to sit there and check your brother because, Lucas did come in on that conversation with Marco and practically was like, if you touch him again, I'm going to the cops. Um, and, he was like, listen, I may have to make, like, preparations or whatever. Carly had that quick look like, what kind of preparations? Lucas comes over, and Lucas pretty much hands Carly um the keys to her place. And he's drawing a line and everything like that. Which now he's not there trying to rewrite history, talking about, well, maybe Sonny came after Julie. I'm like, bro, the hell is the matter with you? Did this breakup with Brad literally just like kill some brain cells? Like, what is going on? I'm like, bro, you lucky that, I mean, you're lucky for a couple of reasons that he's not a real mobster. Because, like, yeah, he wouldn't have probably wound up killing Lucas, but he damn sure would have sent him a message. Um, Roughed up a little, at the very least, he would have been roughed up. Like, god damn, bro. Can you, like, act like a mobster a little bit with this guy? Um, Stuff with Drew didn't really, you know, it wasn't really that interesting. So there's really not a lot of points of talking about him. Um, you just see towards the end, Drew's really happy, he's smiling. Willow looked like she is just like, it, it's like she's there, but she's not there. Like there's a person there, but the lights are not home. No, it's like a person. Okay, you know exactly what I'm saying. Like she's just not there. Like she's just standing into the void. Like this is her life. And she realized just how bad she messed up. And I could have swore it was either Carly or it was somebody. But I think it might have been Carly. It could have been Carly. But Carly was pretty much like, when you somebody said, and it could have been Carly, but it was like, when you realize that you lost everything for this man who is Basuda, don't expect sympathy. I think it was Carly. And you saw that look on her face like everybody was right. Everybody was right. I was marrying a very terrible person. And I lost my kids because of that. No. I'm sorry. I lost my kids because of Nina and Michael being unfair. It's like Nell 2.0 at this point. All right. I feel like that's about it. That is the essentials of this episode. But we're gonna talk more about it tonight, as well as the other subs. And you know what they are. So with that being said, I'm gonna go. Um, and yeah, I'll see y'all tonight in the live stream.